the New York Giants have agreed to terms with corner Adoree Jackson. The deal 3 years, $39 million, 26.5 of that guaranteed. Just the latest signing in what has been a busy and candidly uncharacteristic offseason for the Giants. Jackson is the third big contract they've given out, along with Kenny Golladay and Leonard Williams, over $110 million guaranteed dollars to those three. They also signed veteran tight end Kyle Rudolph and the speedy John Ross. So they've gone out and made a whole lot of moves. And the one thing I find myself thinking about as we bring the crew back in here, and Dan Orlovsky, is, does it add up to a whole lot of pressure on the guy they call Danny Dimes?
Oh, yeah. No, big time. The pressure goes from Dave Gettleman to Daniel Jones. This is what it looks like when your general manager is in a must-win situation with a quarterback that he chose that has to win to keep his job. And the biggest jump, or the biggest development for Daniel Jones and this working for their newly signed receiver, Kenny Golladay, is how quickly he becomes comfortable throwing to a receiver that doesn't necessarily get open, that doesn't separate a ton. He's had Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard and Slayton. Those guys are separators. You know, Kenny Golladay is a guy that is covered but open. He's that big body. I got to give him a chance. Throw the ball to a spot where he can use it as a basketball type of frame, and you throw it to a place where he can extend and go up and kind of shield the defender. That takes time for a quarterback, especially a young quarterback who hasn't had a guy like that to get accustomed to. So if this is going to pay off, and Daniel Jones is going to take that jump, and this move is going to prove worthy for Dave Gettleman to keep his job and Daniel Jones to be their future, he's going to have to really develop quickly, getting comfortable throwing to a guy that doesn't look to him in his eyes as being open.
David, what do you think of this? I mean, we all remember a draft night when he went number 6 overall, and the reaction was overwhelming. And since then, you saw the numbers on the screen. He's 8-18. There have been some good moments and some not so good moments. What is your read on this now that they put all these pieces around him?
Yeah, and listen, Kyle Rudolph, another piece that Dan talked about that you can throw, that's going to have to do the same thing, throw it up to him. He's a big physical tight end that can make plays. But I think this is the make or break year. It's obvious. Like, he's going to have to take that next step. He's probably been one of the more scrutinized guys when you think about coming in the league. Everybody squashed the pick. Everybody thought it was a bad pick, so he's behind the 8 ball. Here's the deal. Saquon Barkley has to be the catalyst for this team. He is by far, I think he's one of the, when he's healthy, he's one of the best players in the NFL. There's just not a lot of people that are built like that. This offense has been pretty up and down, pretty inconsistent. I don't really know. They need more creativity. They need more speed. They need more playmakers. Listen, they're addressing those things. Now we're going to find out if it's Daniel Jones and if he's the guy for the future in New York. They address the offensive line. They're addressing defense. They're competing at a high level. I like watching them compete. I don't think they quit. I think they got fight in them, but now we're going to find out if Daniel Jones is that investment that we're going to keep around.
And so, Graziano, let me come to you. You covered the NFC East for us. You know the Giants about as well as anybody does. What is your sense of the thinking behind these moves? Because, as I said, this is uncharacteristic of the way they usually handle business.
The roster has a lot of holes in it. They need to fill as many as they can. They're still recovering from a long run of unproductive drafts that didn't build the core of the team the way they want to. So they hit free agency, they hit it hard. Big spends, as you outlined. So you're right. They have to find out this year about Daniel Jones. Heading into his 3rd year, it'll be 5th-year option decision time next year on him. Saquon Barkley's coming up for a contract extension soon. Dave Gettleman is on a hot seat. It's an important year for the Giants, and the main reason it's important, they have to put as good as a team as possible around Daniel Jones so they can give him the best chance to prove whether he's their franchise quarterback.
Unproductive drafts is the polite way of saying they have drafted badly and now they are paying for it literally and figuratively.